You are listening to The Vocal Technologist. Spoken tech for your ears.
Welcome back to Web3 Wednesdays on The Vocal Technologist. Today we're looking at some really interesting crypto developments, stuff that's genuinely changing finance, changing tech. We want to cut through all the noise and get to what really matters for you.
Exactly. We're going to try and connect the dots today, show how blockchain's moving from, niche corners into the mainstream, and why these shifts are actually pretty significant for, how we'll all interact online and economically pretty soon.
Okay, so let's kick things off with something, pretty unexpected in traditional finance. BTCS Inc., they're NASDAQ listed, right?
Yeah.
They just announced the first ever Ether dividend. It's 0.05 per share, payable in ETH or cash. And get this, is also a $0.35 per share loyalty payment for long-term holders. What does this signal, beyond just rewarding investors? Is this a bigger sign for crypto in established markets?
Yeah, I think you're right to ask that. It's more than just a payout. It's a strategic move. It signals that digital assets are becoming part of core corporate finance strategy, not just investments anymore. This specific plan aims to reward that long-term belief and, interestingly, deter short selling. Makes the shares harder to borrow.
Oh, okay.
And if you zoom out, it kind of highlights how the Ethereum Virtual Machine, the EVM, is becoming, almost like Wall Street's new Excel spreadsheet.
Oh, interesting analogy.
Yeah, you see big players like Circle with their Arc L1 chain, Stripe building Tempo L1. They're hiring EVM developers. That tells you institutions are looking at blockchain very differently now. They're building on it.
Right, so it's becoming foundational infrastructure. Okay, so that's the institutional side. What about everyday stuff? How does this tech change things for, you, the consumer? We're hearing about this shift from e-commerce to O-commerce. What exactly is O-commerce? What's the O stand for?
Well, the O could stand for on-chain or open, but really it signifies an evolution. It re-architects how we trust each other in global trade. Think natively global, faster, cheaper transactions, and crucially, non-custodial, meaning you actually control your funds. Plus, it's composable.
Composable?
Yeah, meaning different financial pieces can easily plug into each other, like programmable escrow for stablecoin payments. Coinbase Commerce Protocol, for instance, partnered with Shopify to do this.
Okay, give me an example.
Sure. Imagine buying something custom online. Your payment in a stablecoin gets held automatically. It only releases the instant the seller confirms shipping. No waiting days for settlement. We're talking seconds.
Oh, seconds.
And it slashes processing costs for businesses. So for you, the buyer, maybe you get native yield on your money while it's in escrow, maybe better rewards, and definitely easier access globally.
Okay, that sounds genuinely useful. Faster, cheaper, more control. But what about other ways users can benefit? I heard about something called the Helios SOL rebate system. Users getting 50% of the MEV, that's maximum extractable value, right, from their own transactions. How does that even work?
Yeah.
Getting paid for, creating price inefficiencies. That sounds wild.
It does sound a bit wild, yeah. But it's about redirecting value. MEV is basically profit extracted by reordering or including transactions in a block. Usually that value goes to specialized searchers or validators.
Right.
Helios lets users capture some of it back. You add a simple rebate address parameter when you send your transaction through their system. It goes into a private auction, and if there's MEV generated, you get half the profit back in SOL in the same block.
Huh. So it's like getting a cut of the arbitrage you accidentally created.
Kind of, yeah. It democratizes access to that value capture, which is pretty neat. And thinking even further out, there's this proposal, ERC 804. It's about creating trustless agents for Ethereum's AI future.
AI agents on Ethereum. Okay, unpack that.
Essentially, it proposes creating on-chain registries. Think of it like a phone book for AI agents. They can find each other, coordinate, and transact directly on the blockchain without needing to trust each other beforehand. It's laying the groundwork for a machine-to-machine economy anchored on a neutral ledger. Pretty foundational stuff for AI.
That really is looking ahead. Okay, let's pull back to the present market for a second. We've seen a huge jump in stablecoin supply, right? Something like $16 billion since that Genius Act discussion started. And, $6.75 billion just in the last week? What's driving that? What are regulators thinking?
Well, that growth definitely points to increased adoption. People are using stablecoins more for on-chain transactions, maybe holding value there. It signals market confidence to some extent.
Makes sense.
But yeah, with growth comes scrutiny. The U.S. Treasury is asking for public input, specifically on detecting illicit use of stablecoins. It shows they're trying to get their arms around it, balancing the innovation with the need for security and preventing misuse. It's that classic balancing act.
Right, finding that regulatory sweet spot. So quite a journey today. We went from crypto dividends and traditional stocks to totally new ways of doing commerce. Users getting transaction rebates, and even AI agents on the blockchain. The pace of change is just incredible.
It really is, and it leaves you wondering, doesn't it? How might all this blend of old finance and new tech, the rise of these AI agents on neutral platforms, how might it fundamentally reshape not just how we pay for things, but how we trust and interact digitally in the years ahead?
That's a great question to ponder. Thank you for walking us through all that today. Stay curious, everyone, and join us next time as we keep tracking these important shifts in the tech landscape.
Spoken Tech for your ears.